Imagine you're 100 years old, and God finally gives you the miracle you've been waiting for your entire life. A son. Isaac. Your laughter, your legacy, the fulfillment of every promise God ever made to you. Now, imagine God asking you to give him back. Abraham, here I am. Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you. This is where our story begins, not with an explanation, not with a reason, just a command that makes absolutely no sense. How could the God who promised Abraham descendants as numerous as the stars now ask him to kill the only son through whom those promises could come true? It's a contradiction that would paralyze most of us. But watch what Abraham does early the next morning. Before doubt can take root, before Sarah can ask questions, Abraham gets up and prepares for the journey. He loads his donkey, cuts the wood for the burnt offering, and takes 2 servants and Isaac. He doesn't argue with God. He doesn't ask for clarity. He simply obeys. And for 3 days, he walks toward the mountain, carrying the weight of what he's been asked to do. Can you imagine those 3 days? 72 hours of walking beside your son, watching him laugh, hearing his voice, knowing that at the end of this road, you've been commanded to end his life. Every step is a test. Every conversation, a reminder. Every night around the campfire, another chance to turn back. But Abraham keeps walking. On the 3rd day, Abraham looks up and sees the place in the distance. He turns to his servants and says something remarkable. Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back to you. Did you catch that? We will come back. Not I will come back. We. Even in the face of this impossible command, Abraham somehow believes that both he and Isaac will return. So father and son continue up the mountain together. Isaac carries the wood for his own sacrifice, though he doesn't know it yet. Abraham carries the fire and the knife. And then Isaac asks the question that must have pierced Abraham's heart like that very knife. Father, the fire and wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abram's answer is beautiful and haunting. God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering. My son, is it faith? Is it hope? Is it a prayer disguised as prophecy? We don't know what's in Abraham's heart at this moment, but we know they keep walking together. When they reach the place God showed him, Abraham builds an altar. Stone by stone, he arranges the wood, and then comes the moment that defies comprehension. He binds his son Isaac and lays him on the altar on top of the wood. How does a father do this? How does a son allow it? The text doesn't tell us, but somehow they reach this point together. Abraham stretches out his hand and takes the knife to slay his son. The blade is raised. This is the moment of ultimate surrender. Everything Abram has hoped for, everything God promised him, lies bound on that altar. And Abraham is willing to let it all go. Abraham, here I am. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. Abraham looks up, and there in a thicket, caught by its horns, is a ram. God provided just as Abram said he would. He takes the ram and sacrifices it as a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham calls that place, the Lord will provide. Because on the mountain of the Lord it was provided. But the story doesn't end there. The angel of the Lord calls to Abram a 2nd time with a promise that echoes through all of history. Because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me. Abram and Isaac descended that mountain together, changed, tested, proven, and the promises of God stood firmer than ever. This story isn't just about Abraham's obedience. It's about a God who tests us, yes, but who also provides, who asks us to trust him even when nothing makes sense, who sees our faith even when it trembles and honors it, who ultimately provided a substitute, a ram in the thicket, pointing forward to the day when he would provide the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba. The test was over, but the faith remained, and the God who provides had proven himself faithful once again.